First we have O'Toole, then we have Trudeau on their little speech after the debate. Jagmeet Singh had a couple of zingers, and we'll put them up as they're talking. Check it out.
It's very critical for Canadians to know that I support our public and universal system. In fact, we're making record investments in it in our Canada Recovery Plan. $60 billion over the next 10 years without conditions, without dictating to the provinces what they do to improve choice, to improve free access, to get wait times down. After the pandemic, we have to fix our system together, not by starting fights in the middle of an election as Mr. Trudeau has with several other premiers. I'm going to bring premiers together in my first 100 days to make sure we fix the gaps exposed, particularly for long-term care. We need to have more partnership in this country.
Next question.
As I said, we want to build partnerships with the provinces, including in daycare and healthcare, and we're going to meet with premiers within my first 100 days as Prime Minister. We'll have an approach of partnership and coordinate the effective system here in Quebec and the addition we're going to give to families to make sure all families benefit immediately, all families. And we're going to have an approach to help low-income families at a level of 75%. And with the cost of living crisis created by Mr. Trudeau's inflation and reckless spending, families need a break, and the Conservatives are going to give them one. Justin, after 6 years of Justin Trudeau, our country's divided. And the best way to bring the country together is to respect provincial jurisdiction and work together on areas where you can find common cause to get the economy moving and get the country united again. I will respect provincial jurisdiction as Prime Minister. I will not introduce a bill like Bill 21 federally. And I think it's possible to have some differences, but to focus on areas where we can work together for the well-being of Quebecers and Canadians.
And our justice systems and our formal systems aren't yet good enough or strong enough to deal with them properly, because still women, survivors, hesitate to come forward, hesitate to engage in processes. So the answer is always imperfect to say, you know, there's a process we have to follow. Yes, we will give credibility and processes and resources to anyone who comes forward, but we have to rely on third-party verifiers and experts to make determinations to make sure we're getting it right. And that's not a satisfactory answer when people are saying, you know, you need to be stronger, and you need to have quicker answers, and you need to make sure that you're ending any sorts of cultures of accepting misogyny or harassment in any of our institutions, including the military. Saying, you know, well, there are processes is not a satisfactory answer to me or to anyone. But it's the best answer we have. The things Canadians know is that there are very, very different perspectives among the different parties on how we make sure we end this fight against COVID. Mr. O'Toole doesn't want to make sure that everyone on a plane or a train is vaccinated, which puts at risk families with kids under 12 who might be sitting across the aisle from someone unvaccinated, regardless of testing. Mr. O'Toole can't even say that all his candidates are vaccinated because he can't demand that all his candidates be vaccinated. Look, close to 80% of Canadians have done the right thing. Wore masks, kept their distances, went out and got vaccinated. We need to make sure we're convincing and encouraging and making sure that people who haven't yet gotten their vaccines do that as well. And at the same time, make sure we're protecting those who did their job, who want to be done with this, who stepped up and made these sacrifices, that they can get on trains and planes, that they can get back to work, that they can get to a better, more normal life without being put at risk because people aren't clear on the need to move forward with vaccinations.
C'est tout, merci.